For now, join me as I welcome the panelists for the first panel. The topic at hand, the moments that matter. Real-time customer experience in an instant economy. पर उससे पहले एक क्विक एक्टिविटी करते हैं. फटाफट से बाजू वाले से हाथ मिलाइए और पूछिए कैसे हैं आप. Honestly, yes, please. बाजू वाले से हाथ मिलाइए और पूछिए कैसे हैं आप. अब दूसरी तरफ वाले से हाथ मिलाइए और उनसे पूछिए कैसे हैं आप. And now with a round of applause, tell me that you are in the best of the spirits and ready and set for the first panel. Come on. Fantastic, fantastic. Join me as I welcome the Director, Customer Experience at Milkbasket. Please put your hands together for Miss Krishma Mehra. Up next, the Senior Vice President, Customer Experience at Pilgrim. Please welcome Mr. Nilesh Kambli. Last-minute preparations, I'm sure. Up next, please welcome the Associate Director, Customer Experience and Customer Service at OLX India, Miss Sumitra Patnaik. At any given point, if you find your hands rather occupied, you can use the other one to bang on the table, but do congratulate all the panelists as they join us. Up next, joining us on stage is the CGO at Locobuzz. Please welcome Miss Arti Saxena. And joining us on stage is the Senior Vice President, Customer Experience at Pilgrim, Mr. Nilesh Kambli. Thank you very much. Time to complete the panel and welcome the moderator. Please put your hands together for the Chief Operating Officer, Events at afaqs, Mr. Satrajit Sen.
I'm aware that we are running late, and we can't go wrong on the experience of you guys in a customer experience summit. So I'll try and keep it, short, sweet, and simple. Right? We're talking about this instant economy, and I want to start with an anecdote, and it's as recent as yesterday. You know, as me and our team, we were preparing for the summit. One of my colleagues, he was trying to figure out if we can actually end up buying overcoat for this summit today. And obviously, we didn't have the time to visit a mall, so we ended up searching on the Blinkits of the world, the Zips of the world. But he eventually did not could not find any, and eventually he is without a coat today. So I thought there was a opportunity that was missed by any of the apparel brands. Maybe if they would have been there on Blinkit or Zepto, he would have been with a coat today. But this made me think, what started as a phenomenon, what started as a practice in food and grocery, how it has gone on to some other categories as well, and what we as consumers started expecting. Once you buy grocery and once you buy food, you start expecting the same thing on other categories as well, right? We have a diverse panel here, right, and in diverse brands. I would really want to understand from you all, right, what's it like catering to a customer who needs instant gratification? I'll start with Krishma here. Krishma, I know that Milkbasket doesn't operate in the 10-minute delivery. This one, and I'm a customer, so I know that you are a planned every morning delivery, right? But even then, whenever I fail to search or fail to land up on a desired product on other platforms, I come and see whether you can deliver that me in the next morning. Is there a sense of instant gratification that you see in your customers that they want you to deliver?
So Milkbasket is a part of daily routine, as you rightly said, that people put the item in the basket by midnight and they expect us to deliver before you guys wake up, before you open the door. And if you wake up before and you open the door and the product is not there, It's that instant dissatisfaction. Oh, we are late, right? So, what I would say that we live in a world where everything is instant. It's cab, it's food, it's payments. So that instant is in our mindset, and that's what Milkbasket plays on. That's the arena we play on. We need to know everything, whatever is happening with our operations. So the basket process at midnight, and we deliver by 7 a.m. So that 7-hour windows become very important for us. So we need to know what fails when, right? Even a slight delay in the vendor delivering us milk, we need to know where we are failing. Possibly, you have a recurring order for tomorrow, and we just got like out of stock and we don't know what to do. So that's what, just knowing that instantly. Now the second point is what to do about it, right? Sometimes we can fix it, and we have to think how we can fix it. Like I said, that you might have something on recurring and we introduced a product. We were seeing a lot of with whenever there's an issue, a lot of recurring basket getting removed. And in the first session we heard, right, if somebody is our customer for a long time, we don't really want to make your morning a hassle. We are there in the business to make it easy. So what we do, we introduce a product in which, while you are putting something in recurring, we started asking for, oh, what if you miss, can you please tell us what's the alternate product you like, right? If it's not Amul milk, is it Mother Dairy, is it something else, right? So that's what we're starting to do, and that's what the solve the problem of out of stock. If we know that's the problem, we just put the alternate product in a basket, and that's all. Now there's something which we really cannot do. Let's say there's a light out in the warehouse at midnight. We know that's the problem, but what can we do about it? There's a delay which already happened. So now letting the customer know that that's the delay, that's instantly. So possibly I got to know that 5 o'clock that we won't be able to deliver by 7 o'clock, and it might be 7:15. So we will not wait till 7 o'clock to actually tell the customer that we are getting delayed, because 7 o'clock is where that mother is waiting to give milk to the kid while they're going to school. So we tell you at 5 o'clock, and we say, we are sorry that this happened. If you can wait, please do. Otherwise, we are anyways on our way. But that's what happens. So it's like knowing that, and the first instantly what we do is that whatever happened, we just make sure that do not happen the very next day, right? If something goes out of stock, we put that instantly in that feedback looping mechanism, so that we won't wait for our orders to get processed, and then in the evening we'll see, oh, what happened wrong, and then it should not happen. Then that's too late. So at 5 o'clock, if we know this vendor was late today, that is put, and the vendor trigger happens that it should not be late tomorrow. So that's what the instant gratification, because we need everything fast, and morning delivery or 10-minute delivery, as you said, we need that gratification instantly.
So instant resolution is also a kind of experience that can work out. This brings me to Sumitra here. So you deal with both buyers and sellers on the same platform, right? And at times when there are issues, I know that you specifically say that you just connect the seller and the buyer, the rest is on them to this one. But both the parties are actually interacting with you as a platform, with your platform. Is there a sense of instant resolution, right, that both the buyers and the sellers or the consumers need from you or look forward from you when there is a issue in that sense?
Okay. So OLX, I'm sure everyone knows, is like one of the largest online marketplaces for sellers and buyers, and we deal with used goods. So I would want to cover two aspects to this. One, you mentioned the instant resolution. So for that, we have our channels like the resolution, the call center, we have the support channels like email, social media, and that's constantly working 24/7. So in terms of also what goes onto the site is also getting moderated 24/7. So the resolution is taken care by the grievance folks, and we ensure that immediately the resolution is done for a seller or a buyer in terms of the input that they're giving in terms of their complaints. So unless there is dependency on some other team, or there's a tech issue which needs to be solved, and we have dependency on the tech team to solve it in say X number of hours. So that is a very well run process, and we are dealing with it like every other company would solve customer grievances and issues. But when it comes to the seller and buyer needs, I think they are very different. So as a seller, I want to sell my product very fast and at the rate that I have thought, that in terms of, because I know what the product is, right? If it is new, or if it is very old, or it is moderately used, so I have a price in mind. I am looking at a lot of buyers who will come and approach me for that product, and vice versa for the buyer. So the buyer is looking at buying that product at the price that he has in mind in terms of his affordability. So there's always a friction, there's always an inherent push and pull between the buyer and the seller. So the needs are distinctively very different, and that's what we really try and cater to. And that's where the CX team comes into play in terms of understanding the voice of the customer, what they want, and closing the loop with the product. And the tech team is very important, because we take that to the product team saying that, okay, here is what the seller needs and here is what the buyer needs, because there is a constant friction, and it is very obvious that it hurts the seller. What is good for the seller hurts the buyer, because I as a seller am looking at a lot of replies coming to me, but the buyer, it hurts the buyer because he wants to be the only one in the seller's message box, right? So that he can crack that deal with him. So there's always that, to and fro and that friction, and that's where we try and solve it through a lot of engagement and closing the loop with other teams. And so a great example and very recent, if any of you have used OLX and are aware of the packages that we offer. So we just launched, like recently, the first one that we launched was the Buyer Elite Pro package, which is just about catering to the buyers and their needs in terms of having those serious sellers in their chat box, tagging them as the most potential sellers where they could actually interact and close the deal with. And very recently, we also launched the Elite Seller Pack for sellers, where they now have a chat button on their ad. So that was not available, and that's now something that we've given to buyers, where they can directly call sellers and just kind of strike the transaction with them. So yeah, so that's like a constant evolution that is happening, and that's what helps us stay up in that game.
Interesting. Talking about different consumer needs, Nilesh, so you are a D2C brand, right? But you also sell on quick commerce websites. How do you see the consumer behaving differently when they buy directly from your website vis-a-vis when they are interacting with a QCom site?
I think QCom, as you all know, is very instant, right? So we are into a D2C brand doing personal care, beauty care, right? So face washes, shampoos, and all of that. So a lot of some products are like very Q-commerce heavy. So if you want a face wash, you want it right now, you'll buy it immediately. You're not thinking a lot about it, right? So when you talk about products, there are products which are solving a customer's hard concern. These are the likes of your hair growth treatment, your acne treatment, or dandruff and all of that. And then there are products which are about solving a soft concern, which are these face washes, moisturizers, and all of that, right? Which doesn't make a lot of difference to your life immediately, and you're not as emotionally vested into it. So on QCom, we always see customers buying the soft concern products mostly, unless you're a regular customer and your bottle of hair growth serum is now done and you want it for tonight, only then you buy on QCom, right? And with QCom, as we all know, even if you get it in like 11 minutes, it's late. You want it in 10 minute promise, as was mentioned over there. I think a D2C customer is much more evolved because they keep buying from the website, even though they have the option of buying from a QCom. Also, the entire inventory is not available on QCom, right? So we only have select inventory of the 250 odd SKUs that we have. We may have 15, 20 on each of these QCom platforms, right? So some products are sold in a manner where you need some expert advices also. So we have product experts who will talk to you, understand your concerns in detail, your skin type, your hair type, and then sell it to you. That product I would not want to sell on a QCom unless you are a repeat buyer, right? So there's a very different customer persona that exists over there. But if you ask me which kind of customer we would love the most, it is always a D2C because we have a direct contact with you. I know you inside out. I can not just sell you one product, but I can know what other requirements are available for you and then suit your entire regime. Right? So that's a very different set of customers that we have.
Interesting. Speed is great, right? But you need a lot of investment into tech to deliver to those customer needs. Arti, I would come to you. You have been working closely with a lot of brands who might have come to you with similar kind of problems, right? What's your first piece of advice to them when it comes to solving customer needs instantly?
Thanks. It's very interesting. Yeah, yeah, very interesting to listen to the perspectives of various practitioners, right? Because I'm from a technology standpoint, I'm sure you're trying to figure out how to leverage technology to solve these problems on a daily basis, right? But Locobuzz, the company that I come from, it's a social listening platform. And what I really feel is that how the whole CX space is emerging, wherein the shift between various touch points, which whether they are physical or whether they are digital touch points, is all merging together, right? I mean, of course, it was very fragmented at one point in time. There is consolidation that is happening right now in the industry as we talk. But I feel that there is not lack of tech advancement, right? Tech is right there. What is really currently the gap is that how do you actually bring this technology into the operations, into the day-to-day operations? There is so much, like from a listening perspective, right? There is so much data that is currently generated. And if you look at the whole overall CX journey, it is very fragmented in nature, like I mentioned. So for example, when we listen, it's just the marketing teams typically which are doing the listening to the customers, and they are actually not necessarily all the time interacting with the CRM teams, sometimes the customer success teams, the CX teams. They are all very fragmented. A lot of times because we are trying to address the phygital world, the store locations are actually not talking to the digital locations. So there are a lot of data points, but some places they are coming together, some places they are not. So today we are still thinking functions, we are still thinking channels. Often we are not thinking journeys, right? And while the intent for each department is right, yet this fragmentation still exists. I would definitely say that adoption levels are also slightly different, because when we talk about more digital native companies, I think they are trying to right from the onset, right? They understand that this is the gap that we are trying to address in the market. So their approach is slightly different, but again, I think there's a huge gap from bringing this data that they are actually collecting through technology sources to actually leverage this for generating some kind of an intent, understanding themes, take some actionables on it. How do you actually leverage this data to plug into your workflows? So those are the gaps that today exist. And also the fact that when you're collecting so much technology from various sources, and especially digital, right? And for digital native companies, so much interaction is happening through social channels. They're inundated with data, right? So much of data coming, so many mentions that are coming. How are you actually pulling out the intent from this and actually taking it back to the drawing board, right? And leveraging it to actually create the real journeys. I think that's where the whole impact would lie.
Right. You mentioned about consumer journeys, right? And one thing that I wanted to, come to all of you and ask, when it comes to instant gratification or, like solving a customer grievance instantly, majorly what I have seen is that, maybe a cash reward or a cashback or, I'll basically returning the price, right, is something that brands generally adopt to solve it quick. I mean, they think that it's solved there, right? But it actually doesn't, because as a consumer, I want the product rather than my money back, right? And this then I mean, me as a consumer, I would then rather go on to social media and speak like against the brand, right? As a social listening company, right, do you really advise your partners to first listen to the consumer, try to solve that problem rather than give a cashback?
Well, I think this is a very interesting point, because whenever it's about a complaint, it is not just about the complaint; it's about the money that is involved. The moment there is money involved, people become very, very touchy about it, right? So while the brand would typically know as to that they could actually address solving the problem and not necessarily initiating a refund. But what really creates a customer delight is the moment the money hits the account, right? And the customer feels, oh, my money is safe. And that's where delight starts. But if you say that, okay, I'm going to solve your problem, I will let you know how we can address this, can we do this, can we do that? In that whole process, when the customer experience team, CX team or support teams are addressing, it could take a day or 2 or 3 days to solve for the problem. But since the money has not hit the account, it doesn't create delight. All right. So, the point is that how do you actually ensure that the customer keeps coming back to you? Because finally, it's all about the funds that he's invested in buying a product or service. And that's where you understand the customer behavior. You understand, because if you want to create a repeat out of that customer and you create that delight through refund, eventually the customer is going to come back buying the product again. And that's how you start mapping the customer journey, their experiences, etc. Right? So I think that's where it is, right? Because it's all about money, and I think that's where people are the most touchy. Then through social channels, you map the customer expectations, what he or she was happy about, what was the product preference, was it a service issue, was it a product issue? You look at the whole cycle and you identify where the issue really lies. You take that feedback back to your service, your operations, your product, and then you look at improvisation so that you can improve the journey of not only that customer, but also the other customers, right? But in the bargain, you have created a loyal customer and you have created impact for customer journeys of your other customers who would be experiencing something similar.
Interesting. Krishma, I'll come to you because this question, this morning when I was driving to the venue, I got a cashback. So that's where the question came from. But yeah, how would you look into it?
Okay, so we are in the morning delivery business, right? So it can be milk, vegetable, anything. Customers are there with us. They have the recurring order. Every morning we go there. Now, if it's coming about, money, cashback, what happens in the back end? Customers expect us to deliver milk in the morning because that's where their morning starts, right? Parents need tea, kids need milk. Milk becomes the essential part of your morning. Groceries, vegetables, even other things, they become the essential part of your morning. If we fail to deliver that, the cashbacks and the refunds definitely won't save us. It's that 5-minute slip. It's make the difference between great and never again. So
sorry to interrupt you, because if I don't get the milk from you in the morning, I would definitely go to the other app and buy it instantly.
So I'm coming there. So it's like one day you might be forgiving. You said, there's a recurring. It's okay. We might not have, and you'll be okay with refund. Now that coming the second day, and if it same happens, you're like, you know what? Let me just go and change that. That's the business we are in. And now, yes, definitely right now we are playing in the arena, we know that there is a problem. Let's communicate to the customer fast. Let's provide the cashback. And we in the Milkbasket, we're trying to move to this, that, we know the problem. Let's solve it before the customer even knows that problem existed. So that's where we are moving. But now, as, you rightly said that we do have that, in the second session, we heard about segmentation, and we really work on that segmentation, and we know that if something is, going wrong, which are the customers which are going to be forgiving, which are will be that much forgiving. And we try to do that. We try to reroute. We try to do that you should not see that problem existed. But things happen. And when things happen, then I'll go to the first session when you said that for 25 years you have been the customer and they're still telling you, we don't do that. We don't really ask you the question, please provide us this, please provide us that. We know that you have been a customer for long, and that refund will be there in 5 minutes. We won't be asking the question because we already know you. And there might be some customers who are new to us. We don't really have their profiles. We don't really know them very well. There might be, one extra click, one extra step. But I would say that refund is there today. Our cashback is there today for you. Tomorrow we'll solve the problem. That's what we are heading towards.
Great. Interesting that we are talking about customer journeys. I also want to open the floor for at least a couple of questions. But before that, right, a quick rapid fire. with you all, where I really want to understand from you, from your experience and from your expertise, what is that one thing in the entire customer journey thing in the next 10 years, right? You will really see that becomes real time, that needs a solution real time. The one thing that you think that, in the entire customer journey that becomes real time. Krishma, the mic is with you, so.
So, actually, the question is, I would say, a bit tricky. One thing that's real time. For me, it's the whole customer journey has to be real time, right? From where it fails, that we need to know. That has to be real time. Where we are failing and how we solve that. That has to be real time. I would say from and I'll talk about Milkbasket. From us receiving the milk to the milk getting delivered to your doorstep, we need to know every touch point. We need to know where every touch point is getting delayed. Now, what we do about it, that's a different thing, right? Sometimes we will be able to solve, sometimes we'll just provide you refund, but that's what the reality is. But I would think everything we need to know real time, every data has to be there real time. Now, solving this instantly is a question, and for people like us, for business like us who are subscription heavy, who are in the daily routine, who are in the operational heavy business, we already have the data. We already know everything real time. It's just that solving it.
Sure, thanks. Nilesh.
I think you spoke about the next 12 months. What we have already solved is whole delivery updates and all of that. For a brand like us, because we sell online, offline, and marketplaces, I realize, can we create an online beauty advisor for our customers, right? So when a customer comes to the website, he's trying to search products, and especially the hard concern ones. I feel somebody on the website guiding you through a product journey, purchase, and explaining you all the benefits and the cons and the side effects, and then guiding you to the right product. I think that in the next 12 months, we see happening on a real-time basis. It is not happening right now because people don't believe on bots, or you actually need a human being who is an expert advisor.
Mm-hmm.
But in the next 8 to 10 months, we really see the shift moving towards you will be guided by somebody who is an expert. It could be a bot or a human being, help you find the right products.
Interesting. Sumitra, your take.
So I think for me that one thing would be hyper personalization. Okay, so I think just not catering to the customer in terms of his name, greetings, or all of that is now passe. And with companies using so much of data, and analytics, etc. I mean, I think somewhere it is our responsibility to now start tracking customers in terms of their browsing behavior, what they want, what is the experience, like real-time updates on certain things. We still have journeys which are broken, I feel, and customers have to chase us for information, and that's where the experience drops, and that's where actually I think loyalties change, because they find it somewhere else and they kind of switch immediately. So I think for me that would be something that we would like to, I would want to see and work on. Yeah.
Interesting. Arti, your take.
So I agree to all the 3 points that you guys mentioned, but if we have to look at the next 12 months, I would say that the most crucial point would be the point of friction that the customer experiences. If I have to just put it in one word, because like you rightly mentioned, that customer today is expecting heavy personalization, right? Yet there is a lot of technology that is out there. And then there are fragmented journeys, right? So how do you actually bridge all of this? Till the time we aren't able to really solve this, we've truly not solved that friction at the touch point. And that's, I think, from my perspective, I think in the next 12 months. And second aspect is, with so much of agentic AI coming into play, how do you actually create a seamless interface between a human and a bot, right? To create better personalized journeys. So these are 2 aspects, I think, and since last year, we've been really talking about agentic AI, and now a lot of companies are being pushed to actually use. So how do these use cases develop really fast and actually create this, bridge this gap?
Interesting times ahead, I must say.
Absolutely.
I just open the floor for 2 questions. I have just time for 2 questions. If anybody would want to. Yeah. So please identify yourself and.
Hi. I'm Vivek Kumar. I run a communication firm. My query is that in 2 parts. One, today we rely a lot on filtering out customers' problem to reach the solution. However, not all filter questions address all problems. And therefore, the customer actually feels frustrated. Second is, while you address the part about cash refund, what is not happening is how brands are proactive in addressing customer problems when they face a problem. That communication is not happening. So how do you plan to address that? Just to explain that further, I, as a customer, when everything is going fine, I'm happy with the brand. But when something goes wrong, am I clear that the brand will be able to solve my problems? Or is it a hidden menu or a hidden this thing where I have to go deeper and deeper to actually get results?
Is it for anybody specific?
No, it's for the panel.
Any one of you can.
I missed your first question. I'll answer the second one first. Or if you want to just repeat the first question again, I'm really sorry.
Sure. One part is that in an attempt to filter out the customer's real problem, we have those FAQs where, are you facing a problem with this? Are you facing a problem with that? At least in my case, half the times, my problem doesn't fall into any of those criteria. And the other is about communicating to the customer that the problems will be solved and it's right upfront as opposed to hidden somewhere in the help menu, which is really buried deep.
Sure. I think when everything is going fine, the customer is happy, we keep sending you communications about order placed, order shipped, and all of that. I think the real moment of truth is when something goes wrong. And I'll give 2 examples over here, right? Let's say D2C company, so delivery is a very important one. Every time a delivery fails, right, the customer is now thinking, oh shit, now when am I getting this? I've been waiting, you send me all those communications about it's out for delivery and the agent has not even called me, but I get a SMS saying, oh, it's failed now, right? This is a moment where the customer is almost going to frantically call the customer support and ask, hey, what happened? Either you're not at home, so somebody has told you that the parcel has not arrived yet, right? One thing that we do in a proactive manner is, before the customer reaches us, we send you a WhatsApp immediately. It's a real-time thing, right? So the delivery failed at 12:00, 12:01, you will get a WhatsApp saying, hey, the delivery has failed. What would you like us to do next? Should I reattempt it tomorrow or should I send it back to the warehouse? And I want to know what happened, because the delivery guy is going to give me a story of his own. He might tell you customer was not even available at the doorstep and all of that, right? So when we get this real-time data, we can immediately send it back to the delivery partners and attempt it at the next possible moment, right? That's one on the real-time basis. Second thing is, when a customer, I think in the morning, Srikanth spoke about the loyalty being rented and not earned, right? And the cashback point, I just wanted to make a point over there is, every time a customer has faced an issue with our product or service or whatever, and they leave a very bad review, and it happens in some percentage of the customers, right? We have a mechanism where every nasty comment that we get, be it an email or a social media complaint or whatever it is, that customer has to get a call within 15 minutes of that comment hitting our inbox. It could be anything. And the solution here is not giving you a cashback. It has never worked. We have tried giving gift coupons also. Hardly 9% of the coupons are getting utilized on our website. But when we have been very apologetic, genuinely sorry, and then we try to solve for the issue, we have realized these customers who are detractors, a good 38% customers come and buy from us again, right? So it's not about the free value that we give you or the free gift that we offer, but an honest acceptance of the fact that, hey, we messed up, give us another chance. I'll do anything in my right to make it right for you. That is what we try and do as a brand.
Interesting. I'll have to go back to my word. I can't take any more questions. It's already time's up. So thank you, panelists, for being a part of this, and thank you, audience, for your questions and for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.